May not like it, but it is time for the Democrats to own Chuck Schumer's shutdown. It's denied paychecks to government workers for a couple of weeks now, except his, of course. With Democrats trying to force an Obamacare expansion that could cost upwards of $350 billion a year every year. Two parts of the budget are completely out of control. The massive interest on the national debt and federal health care spending, because Obamacare is a disaster, as it was designed to be. The United States is paying over $1 trillion in interest on the national debt now every year, and the federal health care spending was nearly $2 trillion last year as well. Medicare and Medicaid are up a whopping 8%. Democrats demanding hundreds of billions more for additional health care spending. It's irresponsible. It's time to act like adults and open the government. That's my take. Here to discuss this is the Executive Vice President at the National Taxpayers Union, Brandon Arnold. Brandon, nice to see you here. Look, what'll be day 21? We got that clock, right? I think we're on day 21. It just keeps rolling along. And the Democrats are screaming. Maybe they don't realize, but, you know, they had this No Kings protest over the weekend, right? In what place with a king could the minority party, the party that lost the House, the Senate, and the White House, shut down the government? Not much of a king, Donald Trump.
That's a great point. You talk about the shutdown clock, which is disturbing and certainly starting to affect regular Americans, average Americans, not just federal employees, but it's having much broader effects. And Democrats are doing that for political leverage. It's the height of your responsibility. And by the way, the other clock that you showed that I think is even more important is the national debt clock. As we tick closer and closer to $38 trillion in national debt, to see Democrats trying to extract $400 or so billion in higher healthcare spending. As you noted in your intro here, spending is out of control across the board, but particularly in the healthcare space. So to try to force that upon this country right now at a time when we are literally drowning in debt, just the height of irresponsibility and extremely frustrating.
Past $38 trillion in debt, that the Democrats are demanding we pay more. And the idea, I mean, how naive do you have to be, Brandon, to believe all these illegal aliens, they're not getting any benefits from this health care. They're not getting any benefits here and there. That would never happen. I mean, come on. What planet were you born on? Of course, there's fraud. There's fraud from illegals. There's fraud from American citizens. There's piles of fraud every single day to the tune of trillions of dollars in this country. And anybody that would say otherwise is just, to me, delusional. Am I wrong?
You are absolutely right. You know, listen, the Congressional Budget Office, which counts the beans when it comes to federal policy, when the Republicans came forward with these good government policies to get people off of the Medicaid rolls who shouldn't be on there, they said it would save billions of dollars. If there weren't people illegally on the Medicaid rolls, if there weren't people abusing the system, then the score for those policies would have been $0. It wouldn't have saved a nickel. And Democrats retort by saying, hey, the law says that the illegal immigrants cannot be on Medicaid, therefore they are not on Medicaid. That is absolutely naive, as you point out. Listen, a lot of things are illegal and a lot of people break the law, you know, and that's frustrating to see in any aspect, but particularly here when they are bilking the system to the tune of billions and billions of dollars. We need to institute these types of reforms, and we need to restore some degree of sanity and responsibility to the federal budget.
Where's Doge? That's just what I want to know. Where is Doge these days? You know, Elon Musk left. You don't hear much about it these days. Is it still working? Is it still going? Is it still finding the fat, trimming it, finding the waste, fraud, and abuse, and getting rid of it? Is that still going on?
It is. Doge is still active. There's a Doge Congress on Capitol Hill. There's a Doge entity within the White House. It is getting a lot less attention. Certainly not having Elon Musk play an integral role in it is a huge factor there. But yeah, and their mission is never going to be over. Let's be honest. Their mission is always going to have an important role here, because there's always going to be waste in the federal government. We need to eliminate as much as we possibly can. But certainly some of the research that Doge did is informing some of these rifts, the laying off that they're doing of federal employees. I don't think we should need a shutdown to fire people that aren't doing their job and aren't contributing to the greater good. I think we should do that regardless of the status of the federal government. But I think their information that they've gathered through the research has been very, very helpful in that process.
Yeah. Look, I don't want people to lose their jobs, but the fact of the matter is the government's too big, it's too bloated, too many layers of bureaucracy, too many people on payroll. If it were a company, if a private company had this problem, they would fix it by cutting people off. Sorry to hear that. But Brandon, thank you for being here.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.